Most successful people in the world take a negative, right, and they turn it into a positive. The crisis on our nation's southern border is certainly spiraling out of control. That's the negative. The question is, how, as we conservatives, how do we use it to our advantage? We know the Democrats' quest is to do just that, use it to their advantage. They want increased voter rolls, ultimately through amnesty. They want to pander to the Hispanic community using dangerous policies disguised as, well, compassion. It's our job as Republicans, as conservatives, to flip the script, to counter their lies with truth. If we can't stop the illegals from coming because Team Biden is blowing open our borders, if we can't deport the illegals because Team Biden is shutting down the mechanisms of deportation, then maybe we need to do a better job of reaching out to the Hispanic community that is already here legally. You see, President Trump started to do just that. We saw gains under President Trump. We need to expand the progress that he has made. Republicans need a strike force of compelling Hispanic conservatives to make the case against liberalism directly to the migrants here legally. The message will flow down to those trying to cross our borders illegally. Republicans are not doing a good job of explaining. Those coming here illegally are being used, even exploited by the Democrats. They're just pawns in a phony game of pandering for votes. This Hispanic American strike force, as I'm calling it, needs to go into the Hispanic communities and explain why virtually eliminating legal immigration puts illegals and their loved ones in danger. It puts cartels in charge of the border. It forces families to pay coyotes, human traffickers, their life savings, only to be led across a desert risking their lives. They end up putting their children into the hands of sex traffickers. But the liberal media will try to tell you that the hardened criminals coming into our country somehow aren't a threat. They are. These liberals have the audacity to claim the greater danger to this country is right-wing extremists. It's ludicrous. Listen to Brian Williams on MSNBC.
Yes, but will they be terrorists as effective as the ones we saw on 1/6 when they took our capital?
He's talking about criminal, illegal aliens, violent ones. Come on. They need to knock this nonsense off. January 6th was one day. Every day before January 6th and every day after, MS-13 gang members have illegally entered our country. Brian Williams peddles nonsense. Go to any big city, and gang violence is spiraling out of control. That's the real danger to all of us. But we need to still embrace those here legally, those working hard. And those immigrants need to understand, even the illegals who are well-intentioned compete for their jobs, making the American dream that they came here for much harder to obtain. Watch Biden's White House coordinator for the southern border admit that the administration is the cause of this mess.
We've seen surges before. Surges tend to respond to hope. And there was a significant hope for a more humane policy after 4 years of, pent-up demand. So I don't know whether I would call that a coincidence.
Well, it's not a coincidence. We only see this under Democrats that offer false hope. Do you see what she just admitted? Team Biden is responsible for that hope. She acknowledges that. But we know it's false hope. So here is the message I want every legal immigrant to hear. Once we secure the border, we as conservatives, Republicans, vow to speed the legal immigration process up. We need to make it a promise. We need to make it a promise to make it cheaper to get here too. So when you get here, you can experience the American dream without living in the shadows. Never again will you or your family member be forced to make that potentially deadly trek through the desert. But the Democrats don't care about the safety of us or them. It's only about optics and the perception of open borders and everyone is welcome. only until you live in these minority communities that you realize they're plagued with crime. As I said, MS-13 gang members control the streets now more than the cops do in some of these communities. But that doesn't stop the left from lying to you.
This is a process. We have a great deal to do, but this administration has made significant progress, and we will continue to do so. The border is not open.
She's living in an alternate universe. They have not made any progress, and the border is wide open. We have proof for it in this show. So do me a favor to me. Don't listen to the Democrats' facade. Listen to common sense. With a secure border and a streamlined immigration system, we can improve life for everyone. But as long as we leave the door open to drug dealers and gangbangers and rapists, life will never improve for the migrants coming here for a better life. It's a compelling message, but goes against the Democrats' core beliefs. They can't support the rule of law, cops, or closed borders. They truly believe they have an exclusive grasp on minorities and the support of them. Once they realize that we are changing the hearts and minds of the Hispanics already here, once the Democrats realize the immigrant vote is not a given, well, you watch. They will miraculously shut the border back down.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.